Good morning, friends. As you know, yesterday we discussed about the three different methods of finding the inverse of the matrix, namely elementary row transformation method, elementary column transformation, and third one is adjoint method. So already we have started with the first method, that is elementary row transformation. As you know that we have evaluated the inverse of the matrix of order 2 cross 2. Today we'll discuss about the matrix. If the given matrix is of order 3 cross 3, let us see how to use the same to find inverse of it. Let us take one particular example. Look at the matrix capital A is equals to 1, 3, 3, 1, 4, 3 and 1, 3, 4. You can observe that I have written one matrix capital A of order 3 cross 3. And now let us see how to find its inverse using elementary row transformation method. The process is same. At first we'll start with one relation. We have A into A inverse is equals to I. We know one matrix and its inverse. Multiplication of these two gives us identity matrix. Now let us start. Put the values of A. What are the elements of A? The elements are 1, 3, 3, 1, 4, 3 and 1, 3, 4 into A inverse, which is equals to I. Now in your previous session we wrote the identity matrix of order 2 cross 2. Here we have to write the identity matrix of order 3 cross 3, that is 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0 and 0, 0, 1. As you know that we'll perform some elementary row operations on the matrix A at the left hand side. Of course, whatever operation we are going to perform at left, the same operation we'll have to perform at the right hand side. Now the question arises, what for we are going to perform the elementary row operations at left hand side? We'll try to transform it into identity matrix. Our aim, our target is to transform this A, this matrix at the left hand side into an identity matrix. We'll keep on performing the operation unless and until we get an identity matrix. Now, as I told you before, the first element, the leading element should be 1 at the left hand side. Is it 1? Yes. So let us not worry about the leading element because it is already 1 over there. Now let us concentrate on the next element. We want 0 and 0 over here. As you know, we have to convert it into identity matrix. It means that we want 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0 and 1 over here. We are going to use this route while changing the terms into desired numbers. Changing the numbers into desired numbers. We are going to use this path. We are going to concentrate one by one. But as you know, we are concentrating on the elements, on the numbers and not on the rows. But while performing the operations, we'll have to perform the row operations only. But it means that not a single element will get changed, but the entire row will change. Okay, but it won't affect a lot. You can see it. Now, let me tell you, we can perform the row operation on 2 rows at a time. The question arises, is it possible? Yes, it is possible. But as I told you, we want 0 over here, we want 0 over here. We want to perform, or else we are going to perform 2 operations at a time. So of course, while performing the operation on R2 and R3, we'll have to take help of R1 only. In this case, as we are performing 2 operations at a time, in that particular case, we'll take help of R1. We'll perform these operations now. Now, you can observe that 1 minus 1, of course, will get 0. Even R3 minus R1 will get 0 over here. Let us perform the operations R2 minus R1 and R3 minus R1. You can observe that in both the operations, we are taking the help of R1. We are involving R1 in both the operations. As we are performing on these two, we can take help of R1 only. Now let's see what happens after performing these 2 operations. Of course, 2 rows are going to be changed, the R2 and R3. So R1 will remain as it is. What are the elements of R1? 1, 3, 3 into A inverse. At the right hand side also, the first row will remain as it is. What is the first row? That is 1, 0, 0. At left hand side as well as at right hand side, the first row will remain as it is. Only the second and third will change. Now let us perform the operations R2 minus R1. So 1 minus 1 will get 0. 4 minus 3, it is 1. 3 minus 3, it is 0. This is how we have changed. We got a new R2. We got a new second row after performing the operation. Let us perform the same operation at the right hand side now. 0 minus 1, that is minus 1. 1 minus 0 is 1. And 0 minus 0 is 0. Now let us perform the R3 minus R1 operation on the third row at both the side. So that is 1 minus 1 is 0. 3 minus 3 is 0. And 4 minus 3 is 1. Perform the same at the right hand side. It is 0 minus 1, that is minus 1. 0 minus 0, that is 0. And 1 minus 0 is 1. We'll not worry about this matrix. We'll just keep on performing the operations. We are concentrating on the left hand side only. Our aim is to get identity matrix at the left hand side. And can you observe that just in two operations we are succeed to transform the left hand side in half of the unit matrix. Almost we have done with half of the matrix. Now our aim is to get 0 over here and later on 0 over here. Just in two operations we can change the left hand side into an identity matrix. Now can you guess which operation that we can perform at the left hand side? Yes, of course you are right. We can perform R1 minus 3R3. Okay. As we are performing the operation on R1, the second and third row will remain as it is. So let us write them as it is. That is 0, 1, 0 and 0, 0, 1 into A inverse, which is equals to, again, minus 1, 1, 0. Second row will remain as it is. Minus 1, 0, 1. Even the third row will remain as it is. Now let us perform this operation on the left hand side first. R1 minus 3R3. Let us not get confused. I'll suggest you to try it somewhere on the same page so that you won't get confused. Now R1 minus 3R3, that is 1 minus 3 times 0. 1 minus 3 times 0. 3 minus 3 times 0. 3 minus 3 times 0. And 3 minus 3 times 1. 3 minus 3 times 1. It means we got 1. 3 minus 0, that is 3. And 3 minus 3 is 0. The new row, the new first row is 1, 3, 0. The elements are 1, 3, 0. Yes, as per the requirement, we got 0 over here. Let us perform the same operation at the right hand side. R1 minus 3R3, that is 1 minus 3 times minus 1, 0 minus 3 times 0, and 0 minus 3 times 1, 0 minus 3 times 1. Let us see what are the elements. 1 plus 3, that is 4, 0 minus 3, that is 0 only, and 0 minus 3, that is minus 3. 0 minus 0 is 0, 0 minus 3 is minus 3. So the elements of the first row are 4, 0, minus 3. 4, 0, minus 3. Now only a last element is remained, that is 3. We have to change it into 0. We want 0 over here. Now for this we can take help of R2. We can perform the operation R1 minus 3 times R2 over here. Let's see what happens. R1 minus 3R2. Let's see after performing this operation what happens at the left hand side as well as right hand side. That is 1 will get 0, 0, 0, 1, 0 and 0, 0, 1 into A inverse. I have written the identity matrix directly because I know after performing this operation we are going to get an identity matrix at the left hand side. You can verify it later on if you are confused. Now let us perform the same operation at the right hand side. Let us perform it slowly. What the operation is, R1 minus 3 times R2, that is 4 minus 3 times minus 1. 4 minus 3 times minus 1. 0 minus 3 times 1, 0 minus 3 times 1, minus 3 minus 3 times 0. We are performing this operation. Let's see what happens, what elements we get. That we get the elements as 4 plus 3, that is 7, which is minus 3, and this is equals to minus 3. The new first row at the right hand side is 7 minus 3 minus 3. 7 minus 3 minus 3. Obviously, the second and third row will remain as it is. Minus 1, 1, 0. Minus 1, 1, 0. Minus 1, 0, 1. Minus 1, 0, 1. Yes, we are through. We got the identity matrix at the left hand side. So of course, whatever we have got, whatever we have received at the right hand side is nothing but the inverse of the given matrix capital A, whose elements are 1, 3, 3, 1, 4, 3 and 1, 3, 4. The inverse of this matrix is here in front of us. So at last we can write the answer as, therefore A inverse is equals to 7 minus 3 minus 3 minus 1, 1, 0 minus 1, 0, 1. This is the inverse of the given matrix capital A. Now the question arises, is it right? Is it true that the inverse of the given matrix is this? The answer is yes. The question is how to verify this. Of course, it's very easy. Let us multiply these two. You can try it at home. Multiply these two matrices and check whether their multiplication is identity matrix or not. Of course, you are going to get the multiplication as capital I, that is identity matrix. It means that we are through. It means that the answer A inverse is equals to 7 minus 3 minus 3 minus 1, 1, 0 and minus 1, 0, 1 is absolutely right. Okay, so this is all about the elementary row transformation method. Using elementary row transformation method, we can find the inverse of any matrix, not any matrix, any invertible matrix, any non-singular matrix. The given matrix should be non-singular. It means that its determinant should be non-zero. In that case, we can find its inverse using any one of the given three methods. So already we have done with the elementary row transformation method. I'll suggest you to go with elementary column transformation at home. If you have any difficulty query during the same, you can ask me on a WhatsApp group. I'll resolve it over there. Till then, we will start with the third method, that is adjoint method. We are going to start with the third method. Adjoint method is very simple. The method is same. Our aim is same, that how to find the inverse of the matrix. Let us see the same using simple example. I have one example. Suppose capital A is equals to 1, 2, 3, 7 of order 2 cross 2. Here we are given one matrix of order 2 cross 2. Already we have solved this example. You people know exactly what is the inverse of this matrix, but we'll solve the same example using adjoint method. The method is very simple. The formula to find the inverse of the matrix using adjoint method is as follows. A inverse is equals to 1 upon determinant of A into adjoint of A. We are going to discuss adjoint method. Okay, and the formula to find the inverse using adjoint method is A inverse is equals to 1 upon determinant of A into adjoint of A. Now the formula is very simple. We have to multiply the two things. This is a scalar quantity, whereas it's a matrix. The multiplication of these two gives us inverse of the given matrix. I'll tell you the inverse of this matrix directly before we use the adjoint method. The answer is A inverse is equals to 7 minus 2 minus 3 and 1. We are going to get this answer only. But let us check it out whether it is correct or not using adjoint method. Whether you use the elementary row transformation method, use adjoint method, elementary column transformation, in all the cases we are going to get the same answer. It means that uniqueness you can find over there. Every matrix has exactly one inverse. So let us check it out. Let us verify it using adjoint method. At first we'll go for determinant of A. We have the matrix capital A of order 2 cross T. So therefore its determinant is determinant 1, 2, 3, 7, which is equals to 7 1s are 7 minus 3 2s are 6, which is equals to 1, which is non-zero. This implies that A is invertible. It means that it is easy, it is convenient, or it is applicable for us to find the inverse of the given matrix. Now, as it is confirmed that the matrix is invertible, we can find its inverse. We have derived 1 upon determinant of A. Let us go for adjoint of A. Now, let me tell you one thing clearly. In case of a matrix of order 2 cross 2, finding the adjoint of A or finding its adjoint matrix is a very simple task. Okay. Now, you can find the adjoint of A directly. Of course, we'll have to evaluate it from the given matrix A only. See, the process is as follows. Adjoint of A is equals to, in case of, please remember this, in case of a matrix of order 2 cross 2 only, it is that simple. We can find its adjoint very easily. But in case of a matrix of order 3 cross 3, we'll have to go through some steps that we will discuss later on. So before that, concentrate on this matrix capital A. Now, adjoint of A is nothing but interchange these two numbers, that is 7, 1. Instead of 1, we'll write 7. Instead of 7, we'll write 1. We have interchanged these two. And we'll just change the sign of these two. That is, instead of 2, we'll write minus 2. Instead of 3, we'll write minus 3. And here it is. We got adjoint of A. Now, let us use the formula. Therefore, A inverse is equals to, you can write the 1 upon, what is determinant of A? Of course, it is 1. 1 upon 1 into 7 minus 2 minus 3 and 1. And what is 1 upon 1? 1 upon 1 is 1. And if we multiply the entire matrix by 1, this matrix will remain as it is. It won't get changed. We'll write all the elements as it is. That is 7, minus 2, minus 3 and 1. This is how, just in a simple 2-3 steps, we could evaluate the inverse of the given matrix A using adjoint method. All of you understood? Now, the question is, how to find the inverse of the matrix using adjoint method if the given matrix is of order 3 cross 3. Of course, we'll see it in the next lecture. Till then, stay happy, stay healthy. Bye-bye.